Welcome to Tuesday. It's March 7th, 2023, your day weather podcast, brought to you by Cowboy State Daily and YDOT. When there's ice and snow, take it slow. More of the same for today. Today looks quite similar to yesterday in terms of temperatures and conditions. We'll have some snow showers in some areas favoring the north. Again, Montana, the Dakotas, the higher terrain areas of the northern Rockies, while generally fair areas elsewhere. There'll be a little bit of fog this morning across parts of southeastern Wyoming and western Nebraska. Chilly temperatures will remain again today. But the larger, stronger storm, which breaks off from that system over Washington State, moves in late Wednesday into Thursday. This is definitely going to be taking a northerly track. So Montana, North and South Dakota, northeastern Wyoming, northern Nebraska, then into Minnesota and the upper Midwest. Well, that's where the snow is going to be. In fact, there's really not just one system. There's one today, this next one late Wednesday into Thursday. Then there's another one over the weekend that's going to be scooting across the northern areas. These systems are going to dominate, taking a path more along I-90, north of I-80 in those areas. However, West Coast moisture will be spreading more snow into the mountains as well, with a Pacific front for the weekend. That'll bring more snow to the high country. So what we have are these smaller systems that aren't going to get organized into one big one. So they're going to be coming on through, again, favoring the mountains in the north. Could we have a little spell of badly wanted warmer weather early to mid next week? We might. However, when you have a warm up in March, or this time of year, March into April, there usually means that there's a low upstream, and that could mean a storm after the warm-up, early to mid next week. But I think everybody's ready for a little bit of warmer weather, and we might get a couple of days of warmer temperatures. Satellite imagery this morning still shows that swirl of clouds over the west coast of Washington, just off of Vancouver Island up here. It's just basically staying stationary. You don't see a lot of clouds with it, but it is bringing in colder, moist air in from the Pacific, driving it towards the northern and central Rockies. So it just continues to sit there, and it will for longer. And you can see out here in the Pacific, there's more going on, and a fetch of moisture getting lifted northeast into this region here. There you can see in the 500 millibar chart that low over western Canada, stretching back down into Washington State and off the coast of Oregon. It's just spinning around there. So we're basically in the same situation we were yesterday, with winds aloft coming in from the west-southwest and cold air aloft coming on through the northern areas. The precipitation forecast basically from today through Wednesday morning shows that fetch of moisture coming in from the Pacific like this, overrunning colder air on the surface. So there's going to be light to moderate snowfall in this area developing later today, tonight, and into early Wednesday. So the Dakotas, northeastern Montana, eastern, far northeastern areas of Wyoming getting into a little bit of snow, scattered snow elsewhere, and then more here in the Pacific Northwest. So that's basically what we're going to get through today, tonight, and into early tomorrow. This is the first system coming on through. Then the second system is a larger piece coming in Wednesday night and Thursday. By Thursday, it's a little bit more recognizable, but it's not going to be able to get itself really well organized until it gets further east. But it will bring in a slug of Canadian air, and basically we're going to have another situation where it's going to bring another period of snow to the northern areas. By Friday, look how quickly it moves. This is by noon Thursday. By noon Friday, it's more of a better form low headed towards Michigan and then eventually the northeastern parts of the United States. And look at this. This area of low pressure just remains. It's just spinning there. It's stuck. This high pressure ridge is blocking it here. This high pressure ridge in eastern Canada is blocking this from really going anywhere. So what happens is we just get pieces of it going across the northern part of the United States. This will, again, as it moves quickly on through, bring the second round of precipitation. So you can see it's the same areas that are going to be affected the most. You get the moisture along the west coast, you get scattered snows into the Intermountain West, but the snow, when it comes into the colder areas of the Dakotas, will be more widespread and more significant over time. Luckily, it's a quick-moving system, so that should keep the wind from being too much of a factor. Then you can see across the mountains and across the plains, there's going to be scattered areas of snow showers. Really doesn't look like much going on along and south of I-70 in eastern and southeastern Colorado again, like we have seen for most of the winter. So it's the northern areas here that continue to be gonna get the biggest impacts the most. And then this is the second round of precipitation that comes basically from late Wednesday through Friday and into early Saturday. So widespread moderate to light snows across the Dakotas and northern plains, mountain snows elsewhere, lower elevation scattered snow showers, but nothing to really write home about. Cumulatively, through Saturday morning, it adds up. You put the three waves together, and you can see where the heavier snows are going to be, favoring those northern areas. Here's this little warm-up I wanted to talk about. When's the last time we put a high here? Yeah, it's been a while. Now, it may not last for very long, but we kind of have a readjustment. The low that's stuck up here drifts a little bit more to the west. And what that does is it does go into the areas of the Gulf of Alaska. A southwest wind flow comes in, and there's a bit of a Chinook potential. We may briefly see this over the weekend on Saturday, but that front Saturday night and Sunday will cool us off again. But early to mid next week, especially around, let's say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, we might enjoy a little touch, a little hint of some spring-like temperatures. However, this upper level low right here is likely going to want to slide in behind this high later next week. But here's that warm-up I talked about. This is by next Wednesday. So colder weather in the east. There's the low bringing the colder air in along the west coast. But maybe we get a couple of days where we can mainly have some warmer spring-like temperatures and not so cold. However, this is by next Thursday into St. Patrick's Day Friday. Potentially another low coming on in towards the end of next week, and that could end up being a little bit of a weather maker. We'll see, but it's going to be a pattern that looks to be typical March. You see these lows, we've got a lot of activity coming on through. So if we do get warm-ups, they'll be followed by cool downs, but at least maybe we see a couple of episodes where temperatures can bounce up a little bit. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.